italiano au Bosnie-Herzégovine.
Tu t'aimes, tu ne peux pas me quitter, tu ne peux pas partir.
Makedonija poduzima protiv terorista i danas su stigla iz više zemalja.
Iako je bilo nekih sugestija,
Five years ago, this country finished a very brutal and dirty war that tore the country apart, caused hundreds of thousands of casualties, and of course it was ended by the Dayton Peace Accord. And what our soldiers do here is ensure that it doesn't recommence, and that the conditions are set that the country can go rebuild itself, and that the hatred can be put aside and over generations hopefully disappear completely. But in the meanwhile, they can start to look at a stable Bosnia, one that's economically healthy, obviously, and one in which the children of today can look forward to a little bit of better future than the folks who are actually living here right now have. So that's what our soldiers do. They provide that safety, security, and confidence that the country can actually go ahead and do all those things.
You make a difference on a small scale. Maybe you'll help one person out, or maybe you'll, get rid of one small dangerous thing in the country that they could make a difference. You're not making a huge difference, personally, but as a group, as a collective, we are making a difference, I think, for this country and helping them get back on their feet.
We're over here, we're representing the Canadian government, the Canadian people, and we're trying to bring some of that stability, some of that standard of living back to people that are less fortunate.
Well, I just want them to know what exceptional young men and women we have in the Canadian Army, and what great ambassadors they are for Canada. They are superb. They work with all kinds of different organizations here. They work with armies from many different countries, and they work with local civilians, obviously, who've been affected by the war, older people, kids, younger people. They do a tremendous amount of great work here, and they are exceptional ambassadors for Canada.
Oh, cool. I know there was the bomb head sitting there earlier. I don't know if the engineers got to it or not.
If it was just a job, most of the people wouldn't be here. I think it goes a little bit further in the pride you take in what you're doing. And I don't think you're going to find your regular Joe here doing the job. There's definitely a requirement for S4 to be here and provide a stabilizing influence so people can get their feet back on the ground. I mean, once you've been around the country, you can see the damage that's been done by the war, and it really hits home.
What you have here is the CH-146 Griffin, which is our primary aircraft here in Bosnia.
You've got a 40-degree field of vision, left and right, and it magnifies the light in excess of 200,000 times through electrode plates, and allows you basically to see in near dark or perfect dark vision.
This aircraft also has a surveillance capability. We have a forward-looking infrared, or FLIR.
It has a lot of capabilities. It's a good helicopter, fairly new. We've only had them for approximately 8 years, and it gets the job done.
We're going to wash it, take it outside, wash it.
Okay.
So
I know it's early to see if there's any problems, but did you get a good debrief from AMCRO? Or?
Yeah, but that's fine.
We're doing a good job, and I'd like the people to know that we are. And I'm very proud of what we do. If we could send everybody in Canada here to see what ethnic dispute is all about, it would really, I think, solve a lot of our little problems.
No, I'll definitely remember it for the rest of my life. It just makes you appreciate Canada that much more, and the freedoms you have, and the what's the word I'm looking for? The quality of life we have in Canada that I don't think most people necessarily understand that they have until they maybe come to a place like this, and that's when you really understand that we're pretty fortunate.
When I first arrived here, there was a lot of things that stuck in my mind that were shocking.
He was born here and he lived here before the war, and koliko? 55 years he lived here.
My job here is to work in civilian and military cooperation cell, and part of my job is to provide a monetary funding and assistance to the local people who are returning.
Ja razumiem nešto. Jeste za kafu da idemo u kuću traži kafu da baba peče?
Ne razumiem.
It's really important the work that we're doing. I think that S4 is doing an excellent job in helping the communities get back into where they belong. The returnees are slowly coming, and as long as S4 is still in this country, the people will come back.
I can say that they work a lot for us. They came here, or they are coming here every day, and they are bringing some food or any other things with them. We like them very much, and we wish to see them every day here to help us.
We put new windows and doors and a roof on the house, and then we also put a stove in from the United Nations High Commission for Refugees. So it helps people, want to stay.
This is 3-2 Charlie, Delta 9 heading north now, over. 3 Roger. 3-2 Charlie, out.
I think everyone was a little bit nervous. You're going to a country you don't know a lot about, besides the fact that there was a war here, and that the mines are the biggest danger, and the drivers.
1 Roger, over.
1-3 Whiskey, Roger, out.
I was excited and nervous. It was my first tour, and I was new to the battalion, so I wanted to have this new experience turn out to be positive.
In our workup training, we tend to be we prepare for the worst, just in case. So you're a little keyed up because of that. But when you get here, things calm down really fast, and you relax, and you get into a more comfortable feel for your surroundings.
There's our buddy. It's our coffee shop.
Well, basically, we're just doing a routine patrol of the area and just showing a presence in the area.
Okay, we'll probably just park in front of the mosque there, okay, bud? Yeah, anywhere up here, so you okay?
Well, for the most part, I'm just doing shift work. So when I'm not on shift, I like to go out and patrol with the headquarters element of my platoon. It gives me a chance to get out of the camp and interact with locals and see the towns and whatnot. So that's for me, that's something I want to do. I don't want to be stuck in camp the whole time. We get a lot of downtime. Like we do our patrols, we do our gate shifts, we do our QRFs, and when we're off, we're off. Like we do our PT, we all hit the gym hard, do our ruck marches or runs, and we stay fit and play cards and joke around, watch TV.
Whiskey to 3-2 Charlie, radio check over. 3-2 Whiskey, loud and clear, over. 3-2 Charlie, you're loud and clear. Outstanding.
I was up north in VK on my first tour, so it's a different scenery for me, a little more hills. Can't wait to get back to the prairies though, so but keep going, I guess, up to the market. You can do some shopping there if you got some Deutschmarks. You see the young kids running around, you know, holding their dad's hand, and that hits you, but then you think back, I've got a few months left, and then I get home, I can see my kid, and I'm good to go that way, so it's just kind of a, you know, you look at the pictures, you try and talk to them as much as you can on the phone, and that's all you can really do here. That's what the soldiers do. We put everything to the back of our minds except our job, and then we deal with it when we get home.
They had no electricity for 5 years in the area, and they were making, most of the weapons were all handmade weapons. Soldiers were going off to the front with only 4 rounds to defend their houses.
Seeing all this, you know, we go and talk to the people, and a lot of them have nothing, and that's kind of hard.
Everyone's in Saskatoon for me, and I'm over here, and it's just, you know, not like I haven't talked to my sister in 4 months. I usually talk to her about 4 times a week. It's just things like that. Like I haven't seen my grandparents in 4 months, and I usually go and visit them every once in a while, you know. It's just things like that, and just keeping in communication, just only by phone and letters. That's really the hardest part.
Missing my family and my son, very much so. My son is 11 months old. I've seen him for about 4 months. I miss my wife very much, so when I see the families here walking together and spending quality time together, I guess that's probably one of the main things I miss the most.
It makes you appreciate what we have. Like I said, you know, after you see this, you initially see the destruction, and you think, wow, you don't see this back home. You don't, you know, a war came through here. There's no war now, which is good, but there was, and you see the after effects of it, and sometimes there's still tension in the air in some areas, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't be here.